Hello there and welcome back to yet another amazing tribute pack. I am, as always, excited to share this one with you. This one is inspired by the very inspiring crew over at How I Built This. This is a great podcast for anyone who is looking for inspiration in their business, and it's also going to be great for anybody who's looking for inspiration for their own social media pages. Let's dive in and take a look at what they're up to. Loading up this Instagram feed, you can immediately tell that it screams and demands attention. This is a podcast that interviews different entrepreneurs, people who are movers and shakers, and the idea is to inspire others to take action. So there's definitely an aspect to all of these designs that just demand attention, and they position you effectively into a position of authority. So if you are somebody who is looking to either sell a product, a service, get people on a webinar, get people to an event or onto your podcast, these designs are going to do a really good job of putting you into that position of authority and grabbing attention and getting people over where you want them to go. So let's look at a few examples and see what inspiration we can draw from their posts. Right away, you can tell that the yellow and the bold design of this one is going to get people to stop the scroll. I love that they've pulled a quote from probably one of their podcasts from the guest speaker. They've used the caption space effectively, so they've reiterated a little bit more on what the quote is that you see here. And what I love the most is that they put a call to action, so that way they're getting the traffic over to the podcast where they want people to go. This is a way to really effectively use your caption space. Also, I really love how they feature their guest speakers. This design, again, is very bold. It's going to get people to stop. It's going to get them to look. And just the way that it is laid out, it really puts Miguel into a instant position of authority, right? These are the types of designs that we're drawing from for this pack. Before we dive into all the customization fun, let's talk about who this template pack is best suited for. So if you are an influencer, a digital coach, if you are a consultant, a podcast host, someone who needs to establish credibility in order to sell their service, get more people onto their podcast, these are going to work very, very well for you because, again, they just instantly scream authority. They're very bold. They're going to stop the scroll. So if you are a business owner that is looking to establish credibility or authority within your niche, these are going to be some template designs that you are going to want to sprinkle into your feed. All right, that's enough with the formalities. Let's dive into the fun stuff and let me show you how to customize this template pack. As far as customization goes, this pack is going to be pretty simple for you to get up and going. A lot of it is just changing the colors around to suit your niche. Now, as far as actual content goes, you've got a couple designs like this that are going to be really good to either quote yourself, someone famous in your niche. If you are hosting a podcast or a webinar, you could offer a little teaser, either a quote or something that you're going to be teaching. This is going to be really good for that. So all you're going to want to do with this particular template is just delete what we have here. Definitely add your logo. This is going to go well into making sure that your branding is positioned well. People are going to start to recognize you. So whatever your logo may be, just drag it in, size it how you want. There you go. And another thing with this design as well, we've actually highlighted a few keywords. So this is going to help when people are scrolling through. You're going to help stop their attention. So just make sure that if you're sharing either a quick tip or a quote, that you just change the specific colors of those actual words. This design here can definitely be used for similar content, either quotes or trying to share a tidbit or a little bit of information about something, and then you can reiterate a little bit more about that in your caption. Definitely put a call to action if there's somewhere that you want to send people to get even more information about that topic. If you're selling a product, if you're trying to get them sign up for a webinar, make sure that your caption includes that. As far as actual customization, I've shown you this before, but again, if you want to grab a different background that matches your colors a little bit better, just type in something like texture, and that's going to give you different options that you can just drag and drop. Not the way that I did it. There we go. So you can switch that up. Another thing that you may want to do is, let's say that there is an upcoming holiday going on. We've got Father's Day coming up shortly, so maybe you want to put something like tools. And then if you scroll through, you can find a background like this, right? Or just something that's relevant to your niche, right? Maybe you want a background with a laptop if it's something that is digital that you're selling, anything along those lines. So you can definitely use different backgrounds like this just to switch it up, and that way you can reuse these templates over and over again, but have them look slightly different. To use our all-time very favorite feature in Canva, and that is the background removal. So let's say you want to feature maybe yourself, maybe a guest that you're hosting, or even an employee, something along those lines. We're just going to grab a photograph, and we are going to plop it in there, and we are going to use our background remover, of course, because we use this all the time, because it's just so easy. And it's so great that Canva has this. I used to spend so much time fiddling around with Photoshop, never able to do this with ease, and now it's just a click of a button and you can have it look the way that you want. So now that that is in there, we're just going to position it where we want. And then the other thing that you can do to make sure that it blends just as we had it in the template is go down to filters, and you're just going to select one of the black and white ones. So that street one looks a little bit more blended, right? And there you go. And then of course you got another one here that you can use to quote, draw attention to an event, share a quick fact. This one would be really good for sharing a tip with your audience that has to do with your industry. You can add your logo there. And then in this final one, it's going to be really good for advertising either an upcoming event, maybe a webinar, maybe a podcast, something along those lines. Again, super easy to adjust. You can actually just select the background, go from your brand colors if you wanted this X to stand out a little bit more. We'll put a red. Let's say we wanted a red, right? So very, very easy to customize. This again is the same as the last photo. Just use the background remover, switch it to one of the black and white filters, and that's going to help it blend really well. And that's it. So the big thing with this pack is, again, it's really good for flowing traffic somewhere else, whether it is something that you're hosting, a product you're selling. Make sure that you're utilizing your caption space, putting in those call to actions, letting people know where they can get more information, where they can buy the product, where they can sign up for whatever event you might be hosting. Make sure you use that caption space effectively, because that is going to be key to actually leveraging the positioning power of this template pack. Now, don't go yet. We got one more thing. You want to make sure that you are signed up for the text alerts, because if you are not signed up for those text alerts, you might miss one of our content drops, and even worse, you might miss our surprise content. So the only way to grab that surprise content is if you grab a hold of it within the 48 hours that it is live. So again, make sure you sign up for those text alerts and get in there, start playing around with this template pack, and I will see you guys in the next video.